Hello, my friends, and welcome to today's podcast episode, the first podcast episode for 2025. How are you doing? How has this Christmas time, New Year time, celebration time been for you? However you are, today I want to invite you to approach the beginning of this new year in a slightly different way. I'm sure you are receiving a lot of emails right now from many people, many practitioners about goal setting and starting the year strong. And all of this is true. You need to be clear about the direction that you are going into. You need to be clear about your goals, about your intentions, about what you want to achieve. And at the same time, I want to remind you that we are in the middle of winter. Within nature, within the northern hemisphere, the winter has only just started. It started in December 21st. So we are in the middle of the dark season. Long dark nights, short days, the time to reflect, the time to hibernate. And I want to invite you to approach this time rather than forcing yourself to have this new year, new you energy and start pushing and hustling and really trying to achieve more and do more right now in the middle of winter. Instead, I want to offer you an alternative, a compassionate alternative. I want to invite you to start this year with a slightly slower pace, a more loving way, kinder way, more tender way. I know that the societal pressures can be overwhelming, but so many of us are tired. So many of us are struggling. Maybe this Christmas and New Year time hasn't been the kind of time for you like they portray in the movies or on TV, sitting around, laughing, being very jolly, and everybody's happy and getting on. And so this invitation to be kind to yourself is really important. I would like to invite you to allow yourself to rest, to continue resting, to be present to yourself in the best possible way, to really ask yourself what choices you could make that come from more of the flavor and the quality of kindness and self-compassion. Asking yourself what choices you could make that would nourish you deeply, that would help you cultivate kindness and love and joy and peace, that would help you cultivate those more loving choices in the moments of your life. This is not the time in the middle of winter to do constant scratching under the surface, constant deep work with your wounds, constantly trying to fix and improve yourself. I've been working with trauma and the impact of trauma in various different ways in social care and in my own business, in the community, and I've been doing my own work for over 25 years. And what I learned during that time is that we don't need more hustle. We don't need more pushing. We don't need more of this approach of showing our struggling inner parts who's the boss. We don't need faking it till we make it. What we need more is this loving, gentle tenderness. What we need more is to go slowly, being kind to ourselves, choosing more from a space of love and joy and peace. This is a different approach. This is this quiet rebellion that we can be part of. And many of the podcast episodes that I've done in 2024 talk about this. I talk about this quiet rebellion in the podcast that I recorded by myself. I talk about this with the guests that we had here on this podcast. The more of us that will choose to do it, the more it will become normalized. It will become normalized for ourselves, and it will give permission to others to do the same. So rather than forcing yourself to use a lot of your energy and go into hustling because it's the beginning of a new calendar year, embrace the natural rhythm of nature. Acknowledge and honor that we are in the middle of winter, that you can be gentler and kinder with yourself. And if you're struggling, I want to invite you to let go of self-criticism. It's part of our human experience to have times when we are struggling, times when we are overwhelmed, times when we are lost and confused, when we are grieving, when we are exhausted. And in those times, we need even more gentleness, even more kindness and self-compassion. We are, by definition, as human beings, imperfect. And if you disagree, I'd like you to send me a message and show me a perfect human being. So be kind to yourself and start this new year with more ease, with more kindness, with gentler pace. That doesn't mean that you can't plan, but do it in an easier way. Understand that, yes, the calendar year has started, but there was no difference between December 31st and the 1st of January. Both were part of the winter season. Both are inviting us to slow down, to reflect. And so take it easy, pace yourself, and that will prevent you from crashing in February. I really think that the reason why so many of us struggle in February, end of January and February, is because we try to pull all of our energy to meet this energy of New Year, New You. So instead, let go of these pressures from our society, from this masculine way of pushing and hustling and striving, and allow yourself to approach this new year with more gentleness and cultivating qualities that you want to cultivate for the whole year. Become clear on those qualities and allow yourself to start cultivating them now. Because you can still be successful, you can still achieve your goals with more ease, with more spaciousness, with more love, joy, and peace, with more kindness. This is certainly something that I've been sitting with and I keep coming back to. How can I do it in a different way? In a more gentler, in a more nurturing way? And this is what I invite you to do as we are starting this new year. And my promise to you is also that throughout the 2025 on this podcast, we will be coming back to this exploration of how we can do it. How can we be more successful? How can we be better practitioners? How can we be better human beings? As we are embracing slowness, as we are embracing kindness and compassion, as we are embracing being more us in our uniqueness, in our passions, in our strengths, in our humanness. So take care of yourself now. And I look forward to connecting with you again and again in this new year 2025.